My name is Oğuz. Full name is Oguzhan. I'm coming from AI and machine learning background, so keep that in mind. I have like linear algebra and calculus and that sort of stuff in my background. So basically today I'll be depicting the future of MyData from the AI perspective, as well as the future of AI from the data perspective. Quickly about myself, I'm leading the AI team in a Helsinki-based AI startup, and I have been giving talks revolving around AI. Some are very technical, some not. This is my background. So my outline will be just like very short working principles of AI so that it makes sense for all of us. Then I will dive into future roadmap, right? Then I will wrap it up. And I have this incredible urge to actual outline in this AI-related talks what I will not be talking about. So I will not be talking about Skynet, Terminator, these sort of things. All right. So working principles of AI, there are like two key takeaways, and it's relevant for the rest of the talk. Most of the AI, machine learning, whatever, is supervised, meaning it needs examples to learn from. Please keep that in mind. Whatever spam filter working in your email, it works because we have been annotating spams for years and years. We have been training the algorithms. We have been giving the labels. We have been giving the training data. Similarly, Facebook can recognize your friend because we have been tagging and we have been teaching for years and years. A lung cancer AI from CT scans, it requires examples, several hundreds of examples of lung cancer scans and annotated ground truth doctor, pathologist, radiologist, whatever annotation to learn from. Similarly, if you apply for a loan for a bank, it's an AI. To create an AI, you need examples. Autonomous driving, millions of images of cars have to be taught to the system, and hundreds of hours of speech for speech recognition. So this is one key takeaway. Second key takeaway is the recent AI algorithms, this deep learning, deep neural nets, whatever, has been pretty much black box, meaning that it works very good in predicting stuff, performing accuracies are high, precisions are high, but you can't, it's really difficult to pinpoint the reasoning why it gave that decision, right? It's very nonlinear system, mathematically. So the first key takeaway is that AI needs your data, meaning that the bias in the data trained to AI will basically flow through the AI, meaning that AI is just a tool, it's linear algebra and calculus, it's not some sentient being, and if your data is biased, your tool will be biased. And the second takeaway is that there's a trade-off always in systems, complexity of a system, and transparency and interpretability, explainability. All right, let's dive in. So some opportunities. GDPR, I have depicted 5 actually key points related to AI and GDPR. First one is storing and processing of data of EU citizens inside the EU. So this will create a bit of hit in the cloud-based AI training because AI requires lots of computation power. So this is a bit of hit for the businesses. Individuals' right to be informed. So basically, if someone asks why does this tool of AI gives this decision, businesses may have to reveal some IP. Worse is that they may fail to explain because of this black box models. Justification for data collection. Basically, you can't do anymore. Let's collect all the data we can right now, and we will think later if we will use it, and we will train some machine learning algorithm. That is kind of over. Right to reject fully automated decision making. So basically, you may have to have some human in the loop for any decision making. Just not necessarily you need him or her, but just from the GDPR point of view. Because if it's fully automated by algorithmic decision making, it's problematic. And this is the most, let's say, controversial one, right to be forgotten. You can delete your data, or you have the right to be forgotten, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you will be forgotten by the AI trained on your data. You are not one row in the AI model. AI model is just a bunch of numbers, and it's very hard to basically remove from you from the trained model. So this is, I put a question mark here. But opportunities, some interpretable or explainable AI models are coming. So this has been well done for several years. You have an image. I will be giving lots of examples from images, but you can create the analogies to other type of data because it's easy to understand images. So you give an image, the machine learning model, image recognition says dog and cat. Right now, the recent developments in AI can pinpoint why it says it's a cat. So this heat map of probability. So this is important. Similarly for the dog. This is question answering AI. It has been for several years around. It's nothing new. So you have an image, you ask a question. What is the activity in the image? AI says skateboarding. This what we had. Now we have why does it say? So we can actually have these probabilities of input features. And input feature is your data, my data in many systems, right? Similarly, automatic image description. You give an image to the AI and it just creates this caption. A man is jumping in the air with a frisbee. Okay, now we can basically pinpoint why it says that. So this is quite cool research basically. So I'm coming from research background, so it's from ICCV paper. I always give like references. Another example research is that, let's say Mr. X has been classified as a low-income individual, but he knows that only 2.1% of people with income above 10K are classified as low income. He has 14K. So he suspects some racial bias in the AI, in the machine learning used by the bank. But this recent research actually comes up with a model that is highly accurate as well as explainable. So basically, you can see his marital status is actually the most, let's say, negative impact on the decision, and the race has none at all. So these kind of new research creates huge opportunities for us from the AI and MyData perspective. And so far, the AI research has been about increasing the accuracy of one, let's say, image recognition algorithm 0.1%, and that's the state of the art. You write a publication, and then there are competitions just based on accuracy metrics. Now it's changing, so there are competitions on explainable, so the metrics of basically how good, how useful this machine learning algorithm, it is not only predictive accuracy, but how explainable it is. Explainable models for healthcare AI, like this was from a conference. So these things are coming. So changing the metrics of evaluating a machine learning and AI algorithm. Another interesting initiative is an oath. So this is like a code of honor, now starting to circle around the AI practitioners. So it's similar to Hippocratic oath in medicine. So I will not read all of this like some kind of crazy person to you, but basically I have highlighted the key points, and I have even filtered the relevant ones for my data. So this is, I will respect the hard-won scientific gains and share such knowledge. I will remember that there is an art to AI as well as science, and human concerns outweigh technological ones. I will remember that I remain a member of society. I will respect the privacy of humans for their personal data. This is one bullet, very relevant to us. And I think this is very important. Most especially, I must not play God nor let my technology to do so. So really human-centric oath. I think this is a cool initiative. How about some risks? Okay, so in automation, which is driven by AI, there's this thing, an incredible first mover advantage. So automation really favors first mover in an incredible extent. So basically, I'm not talking about sitting in your local Starbucks, checking your phone and or you realize your crappy startup idea was done by some Canadian startup, kind of first mover advantage. Like this is some serious stuff. For example, Google had to basically terminate its project's collaboration with Pentagon because developers realized that they have the algorithms they have been implementing will not be used for classifying cats and dogs images. But so there was a total shit show, and Google had to actually write a post on their blog like our principles, and basically the summary is don't be evil. I have a suggestion to them to add this: don't be evil after you have been caught. So I think this kind of things we have to be aware of the fact that if a technology uses AI which is driven by my data, your data, it can create a huge monopoly. And a second interesting thing is an AI working properly, but your objective function, the goal, is defined poorly. So it's easier to maybe show this video if it's working. It's okay. So basically I can just explain. So basically they created an AI to throw a baseball, and with a given reference of human baseball thrower, it was learning to throw a good baseball. Without a reference for motion, it was creating interesting, awkward policies. It was reaching the destination, but by just throwing itself on it. So the point is that if your objective function you are trying to optimize, and AI is an optimization model, if it's purely based on, let's say, optimizing something mathematically, and if you don't give constraints and limitations, it can actually disrupt the society or individual's privacies. So this is a cool research. And finally, there has been a cool research that they have, with AI, they were actually able to predict if a black box AI model uses your data. So these businesses like Google, Amazon, whatever, which gives on off-the-shelf like AI, toolbox, microservices, apps, you can actually with a very high probability check if they use your data with this current research. So this is quite interesting. In conclusion, the future of my data and AI will lay in increased understanding of how AI works, so that we are aware, so we ask questions. It will be based on higher interpretability, explainability, and transparency of AI. So people will not be able to say, yeah, our model is black box and this is the decision. No, you have to explain. And of course, will be based on questioning the robustness to adversarial attacks, robustness in terms of security of my data. This was an artist's, let's say, I think this is a piece of art, like fooling a self-driving car with this kind of basically adversarial attack. That was my talk. Thank you very much.